Hi everybody, it's Karen from Scrappy Connect Studios, and I'm here today for DCWV to share with you a little tutorial on creating these fun double slider cards. So let's get started and I'll show you how it's done. Okay, so let's talk about supplies then for this project. The first and most important one is your foam adhesive tabs. This is going to be used for the slider component, really important. And then we'll use some regular dry adhesive. We'll need a ruler and a utility knife. A punch is really helpful, not necessary, but helpful. Great pair of scissors. And then we're going to need some ribbon. I've picked up some ribbon from May Arts here. We're going to use this for embellishment and for the tab. And then some beautiful paper. This is DCWV's, one of their premium paper collections. They come in sets of 5 of coordinating cardstock and pattern paper. They're so cool. This one even has kind of some glittered paper in it, and then this cutout piece as well. You can pick these up at Joann Fabrics. Okay, so what I want to do now is I just want to show you what the components kind of look like, the pieces that we're going to be creating. So basically you've kind of got a regular folded card here, and then we've got this little piece that sits on top, and when you pull on it, this one kind of covers up all the mechanisms, but when you pull up on it like this, it pulls up the second piece that's right here. So basically this one is attached to the other one, and when you pull on it, it pulls both pieces up, and then you just use this top piece here to cover up the mechanism so that you don't really see what's going on, and it looks like it's just popping up from behind. So essentially this kind of tent fold here is what we're going to be creating with the mechanism that goes up and down. Okay, so let's talk about the pieces that you need to put the mechanism together. So the first piece we're going to start by is 12 inches by 5.5 inches. Use a nice strong cardstock for that. Then we need the little tab that we're actually going to pull up here in the back. So this one is cut at 5 by 4 inches. Then we have this little piece that is 2.5 by 3. It's this piece that goes over top, the secondary tab that we pull up, and then this last piece, which is the one that's actually going to cover up the mechanism like this, and I've actually cut it in the pattern paper here, and it's 5 by 3 inches. So once you have all those pieces, it's really just a matter of putting it together. So let me just show you how easily that goes together. Okay, so now what we need to do is create our card base. And so I'm going to start by doing a bit of scoring. So I'm just scoring at the 4-inch mark and at the 8-inch mark right here. And then I'm just going to do a bit of an accordion fold. So I'll start by folding this piece up and then the other piece down on itself, just like this. And I'll just tighten up my edges just with my bone folder here, just like that. Awesome. Now what we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be doing some cutting. Okay, so grab, something to cut with, and then we're going to be working on this tab that's kind of the front piece, so the one that folds back on itself. So take your ruler and your utility knife, and we're measuring in from each of the edges. So I'm measuring in 1 inch here, and just giving myself a little mark, and then another 1/4 inch, and just giving myself a mark. Again, I'm coming in about 1 inch from the edge here, and then moving over another 1/4 inch and making another mark here. Honestly, this part doesn't really matter too much. You just want to make sure that your cuts aren't wider than the piece that you originally cut. So now I'm just taking my ruler and I'm lining it up, and I'm going to be basically making these 4 cuts. So starting 1 inch down, and I'm going to go down about 2 inches. So starting at the 1 inch mark and going down to the 3 inch mark. Now remember, I'm moving over 1/4 inch, and again, 1 inch mark down to the 3 inch mark. And then over here, this is 1 1/4 inches from the other edge, starting at the 1 inch mark and going down to the 3. And then my last one again, going from the 1 inch to the 3. And again, don't worry if this isn't exact. You won't see any of this, and it won't make a difference to how things work out. So just trim off the 2 little pieces and you create this little window. Essentially, this is going to be the sliding component, and we just kind of pop these 2 pieces out just like that. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to put some adhesive on at this point. So just a nice dry adhesive works really well. Because remember, this is like a pocket for the other pieces that you are creating. I'm just using some score tape here. I love my score tape. Perfect. Okay, just like that. You want to make sure you don't have any little bits of pieces of adhesive sticking out the top. That can stick to different components. All right, now what we want to do is we want to take these different pieces. This was the larger of the 2 pieces, the main top tab, and I'm just going to tuck it in behind here so that it's centered on the piece of paper. I haven't glued anything yet. I haven't put anything together. I've just placed it. Then what I want to do is I want to take 2 of my foam adhesives, and I'm just going to put them in the spaces that I cut right along the bottom. Now this piece is going to go over top like this. Do you see? So the foam adhesive is now going to be holding this little piece to this back piece that we can pull up and down with the little pieces that are there. You do want to make sure that your foam adhesives are straight, otherwise your card will pull up crooked. Your little tabs will pull up crooked. So I just take those off and I just kind of put this on top, and you can see now I've got a mechanism that pulls up and down. Super easy to create. And then all we do is we take our last piece that we cut and we use some nice foam adhesive to lift it up off of the other tab. And I'll just place one in each of the corners. You don't want to place any in the middle because remember, this is like a pocket as well. It hides the front tab from your double slider. So we just pull these little pieces off here and center it on your card right over top like that. I bet you couldn't believe that it was going to be this easy. And then we pull it up and you can see that both pieces kind of come up from your card just like that. Again, you just kind of want to make sure things are straight and centered. This is a good time to make sure that your pocket is going to get glued shut. So we'll just take this off. You'll notice I saved this till the end until I made sure I had everything lined up as I wanted it to be, so that if I needed to take things apart, I still could. The foam adhesive is sticky, but not so sticky that you can't pull things apart if you need to. And we'll just press this closed. And now my pocket is complete. You can see you can't see the mechanism at all. And you just pull up and pull down, and we've got this great kind of standard card that you can use in a regular sized envelope. Okay, so what I want to do now is I actually want to reinforce this top edge here. And the reason is that the recipient is going to be kind of pulling on this, and I want to make sure that it's nice and strong and sturdy. So I'm just scoring 1/4 inch down from the top and just folding it back on itself just like this. And I'll just sharpen up the edge here with a bone folder. And then I'm just going to take some adhesive and I'll run this along the top edge here. And again, I'll get this really nice reinforced edge along the top. So if the recipient's pulling on the ribbon, they won't just pull through the paper. Just like that. So there we go. It's in there and it's ready to go. I'm just going to mark the middle for myself with my utility knife here, just by poking a small hole. And then I'll just take my punch and I'll just punch a hole in there as well. And this will give me a place to attach my ribbon and embellish the rest of the card. So now it's time to add our ribbon. I've cut some of this 1-inch Mayarts ribbon at 8 inches long. I'm just folding it in half, and then I'm just going to tuck it through the hole here. This is why it was really important to reinforce this top edge, because as you're pulling the ribbon through here, you don't want to pull through your paper. So I'm just opening up the loop that's created by the fold and then pulling the ribbon up just like this. And then I'm just going to kind of play with it until I get it in a place that I'm happy with. I want to turn it so that I can see the pattern on the ribbon on both sides. And then I think I'm just going to trim this one off a little bit here just to make it a little bit shorter. Yeah, perfect. I like that. And then we'll just kind of, you can see that I like to fiddle with my ribbon a little bit, just make sure I've got it exactly like I like it. Yep, looks good. Okay, to finish off the basics of the design, I just want to embellish these two tabs a little bit. So I'm going to take some of the coordinated paper so that when we pull up, you see kind of some different patterns. So I love this this stack or this collection of 5 papers just because they coordinate so well together. And I think I'm going to put the lined one or the striped one up top and then the happy birthday one down below. So I've just put a piece of adhesive here, and then essentially I'm just going to tuck it over top. Now you could do this at the beginning when you're first putting things together, but I kind of like to see how my card comes together and how it moves. So I put these little pieces in afterwards, but you could totally cut these pieces when you're first putting your card together as well. There we go. And it just kind of tucks away, and we've got this little coordinated tab and pulley system with the different papers that comes up and comes down. So here's the card all finished. You can see I've layered some more of the papers on top, some of the textured cutout papers and the glitter paper for the birthday number, the side, and the card just stands just like a regular card would here at the top, just like that. So I hope you've enjoyed this little tutorial on creating this double slider card using the premium paper collections from DCWV. And if you'd like more information about this project or the products, come on over and visit us at our new DCWV blog. dcwv.com/blog. Thanks for stopping by.